Okay, so we finished watching Adventure Time Season 4 earlier today. I believe this was 3 sessions. We watched about 6 episodes last week, like Monday or Tuesday.
Mhm.
We watched a chunk of the episodes yesterday, and then we watched the entire second half
today.
this morning slash like early afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to start about what you thought of the season, things you liked, things you didn't like, the ending?
Boy, I was worried when we started this because it felt like in our first session when we watched like 6 episodes, I felt like 4 of the 6 were kind of dog shit. And it got me really worried that I'm like, oh, are we about to enter the slump? I don't know if there is a slump in Adventure Time.
I don't either, because I know I've said Jose said he doesn't care for some of the later seasons. I'm not exactly sure for him where that cutoff is.
But I was like, oh boy, these are not funny, which we can get more into detail on those in a bit. But it was basically that session. And then after that, though, smooth sailing. It was back to the quality I was expecting from Adventure Time. Maybe even a little better. I feel like, especially with this session today, we had a lot of...
There were some great fucking episodes.
But yeah, I got scared for a moment, but I'm like, okay, we're back to the way it should be. We're back to it being good again. Awesome. All right. What did you think?
Sorry, just what you just said about, like, man, I was worried, but we're back to being good again. You just described what it's like being a Saints fan for the past couple years of like, man, I'm worried, we still look like shit. Okay, never mind. We're good. We're okay. We're fine. The difference is Adventure Time stayed the course. It got better. The Saints are so fucking bad right now, and like, I felt embarrassed following the game that happened yesterday. Like, this isn't real, right? Like, I know we're not good, but I don't want to get into a full football rant, but I can feel it. I'm close. So let me just change the topic. So I agree. Those first, like, 6 episodes or whatever we watched that first session, the first episode was really good because it was continuing I'm trying to say Finn and Flame Princess, and in my head it's coming out as Flynn Princess, which I don't know is maybe the ship name. But it was continuing that storyline, and I really liked it. Then there was that weird episode about the 5 senses, and like, here's a little bit of this story and this story, which I thought was fine, but I didn't really like it that much. There was the tree trunks and the pig episode, which I hated. Like, this is not only not that funny, it's just mean. And it's not like they're picking on the Ice King for being an old weirdo, which you can argue
for the course.
Which is funny, but is also still mean. This is like they're mad at Tree Trunks because she and her boyfriend like to kiss each other. That's kind of fucked up, but then like it just was never that funny.
And Jake's like, "Hey, where's my apple pie, Tree Trunks?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry if I have a laugh other than making you pies." I was like, that's kind of what I felt. I was like, man, they're being assholes. And it's like, okay, Finn and Jake aren't the nicest people. They can be just a little sociopathic towards others. This just felt really awful.
I don't even know if I'd say that, because I feel like with Finn, Finn doesn't try to be. It's like, he not like...
doesn't quite understand.
Yeah, because sometimes Finn is just very single-minded. He's like, I want to help you so badly, and sometimes rushes into something without thinking. Jake can be a bit more selfish, which is what makes Jake really funny a lot of the time. Like, nah, man, I don't want to fucking I don't want to fight the farm. The fucking the tree. Dude, I laughed so fucking hard when we saw the tree.
You were high.
Well, I was gonna get to that on my own terms.
We'll get to it.
So, spoilers, but I wasn't exactly sober watching the second half of the season today, and it was fantastic. I had so much fun watching it. Like, I've been having fun with Adventure Time anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a really interesting session with the show, And we got some of the weirdest fucking episodes, like the Magic Man episode with Lincoln, which is, I think, an all-timer. Like, I thought that episode was great. There was this return of Ricardio.
That one took me off guard.
I loved that.
So gross.
Like, the fucking Song of Saya shit that was going on with these visuals. I just wanted to impress you. You didn't. She rips his arm off and beats the shit out of him with it.
It was a Princess Bubblegum, like, centric episode, which didn't really have Finn and Jake in it, which was really interesting, but I liked it. I do really like Princess Bubblegum as a character. As much of a kind of a piece of shit she is.
I was saying when we were watching it, to me there were two great Princess Bubblegum episodes. One was the Goliad episode, which was another fucking weird one, where I tried to make another ruler in case anything happens to me. It just so happens, because it's based on my DNA, its disposition to be a fucking tyrant. And then another episode where she's just in Finn and Jake's house, like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, collecting taxes. But you guys weren't here, so I just let myself in. I'm like, that's just really funny. Like, that's fucked up, but that's hilarious. I really like what they did with Bubblegum this season. And then, she doesn't want Finn and Flame Princess to be together. Not because she's jealous of the romance, but because, no, she's literally so fucking unstable. If you kiss her, she will melt the planet. Okay, but I really like the way it's expressed. Because of the miscommunication, I love Finn's reaction. Like, no, the way you're saying this to me makes it sound like I have to sacrifice my happiness for you, but you don't love me. That's fucked up. You had your chance with me, and I'm glad that we're still friends. I'm genuinely glad that we're still homies. But you don't have the right to play with my heart. Fuck off.
I was like, oh, that got heavy for a moment.
Yeah, and then cut to Jake making bacon pancakes. You get some bacon, then you put them in a pancake. Like, this is a great episode. My favorite episode, well, I can't even say it's my favorite episode of the season, but the King Worm episode was phenomenal.
That was the perfect episode to watch when you were, like,
was amazing. I was like, I know what's happening is happening in the show, but even for Adventure Time standards, this is so fucking weird. I'm not sure. Like, there's a non-zero chance I'm hallucinating everything on the screen. This was great. It was so funny. It was so creative. It was so entertaining. I love King Worm.
And then you have shit like Simon and Marcy. Or I Remember You. I was like, oh...
Which
this show has depression
was like,
in it.
Probably my favorite episode of the show. I cried again while watching it, 100%.
I got close.
I was like, yep. There it is. Oh yeah, it's just keeping on coming. All right, we're doing this.
It's like, yeah, if you look at it from the view of like a granddaughter dealing with her grandfather who has like dementia, it's really depressing.
Oh, 100%.
I never really had to deal with that, but I could see how that could really fuck somebody up, you know? But, yeah, that was a fantastic episode. It was like one of like 2 episodes Marcy was in.
Yeah, because
not in this
because I remember saying to you, like, right before the episode, it's like, hey, got a question for you. Where's Marceline? Because I think in the second half that we binged today, it was the only episode she was in. Oh, no, she wasn't earlier because there was the Hunts and Abadir 2-parter in the night, which was great. Yeah. I really enjoyed those episodes. The weird hangover shit that Finn and Jake are dealing with.
Yeah. Then you have the noir episode with BMO.
Fucking BMO!
It was so funny. I really like BMO. BMO took a while for me to actually like. I guess it was like, I thought he was okay in earlier seasons. It felt like in this season, he got really funny. Like, I love there's that scene in Card Wars where, like, he's... like, Finn's just, like, trying to find BMO. He's like, BMO, where are you? BMO, chop. If this were a real fight, you would be dead. He's just so cute. He is adorable.
If I win, Jake, you have to call me Sensei. It's like, oh, this is why, like, I don't play these kinds of games with Jake. And then,
And
like,
he gets on the skateboard.
and then when they're talking to Finn later, like, oh, wait, are you beating Jake? No. Okay, so here's the thing, Finn.
You have to take a dive.
You have to lose, but you can't make it too obvious. 'Cause Jake wants to win, and Jake, if he wins, is an asshole. And if he's losing, he's gonna be an even bigger asshole. And that's why no one wants to play these games with. And yeah, the fact that they're just playing Magic is fucking funny.
It's like Magic with like a Yu-Gi-Oh
I floop
vibe.
the pig, which I know I've seen that, because a good chunk of these episodes, I'm like, I remember that. I know I've seen that. Or like, I floop the pig. I know I've heard that from somewhere before. I had to have seen this.
Is there a pig in Adventure Time Munchkin? I would be surprised if you couldn't floop the pig in Munchkin.
I don't remember. It might be. I know the farm is a monster in Munchkin. Because every now and then I'll just, oh yeah, like the whole Gunter demonic wishing eye thing. I'm like, that's a whole thing in Munchkin, because Gunter gets a lot stronger if the demonic wishing eye is in play. This isn't a Munchkin thing, but the fucking LSP going undercover. Like, I'm gonna make Finn like my lumps so much. Like, I know I'd seen that episode too. That was, yeah, it was so
really good.
This her ringtone. Hi girl, hi girl. Hey girl, hi girl. How are you?
Turtle Prince is also really funny. I think it's just her voice, honestly.
Oh gosh, the fucking episode with all the princess parts.
Oh,
that we watched yesterday. That episode was awesome. It was so sad.
It was so fucked, man.
Oh gosh, the fact that as soon as Finn and Jake see her, they just like foam at the mouth and pass out of sheer terror. And it's so sad that the Ice King's like, I love Ice King. I think Ice King is fucking hilarious.
And like the saddest character in the
saddest character in the show. Even before you get to his backstory, it is just, I'm lonely. And I want to make connections, but I don't know how. Like, a good chunk of last season was, I want to be friends with Finn and Jake. I don't want to be their enemy. And not because of some bullshit like, okay, if I become their friend, they won't dunk up my game. It's like, no, I just want companions.
I'm lonely.
But he's so fucking weird and unpleasant. No one wants to be his friend. And yeah, during the Marceline episode, where he's just singing in agony of, why won't anybody love me? Why am I so alone? Is really heartbreaking. And then it keeps going, like, from Marceline's perspective of, there are people who love you, but you don't remember them. And that's what makes it so hard to be around you. It hurts. It's great.
It really makes me look forward to watching Fiona and Cake. When we get to the end of this series, I imagine we'll watch all of the
100%. Like, that's not a question.
And so far, Fiona and Cake is kind of the end, at least until they make another one. And it mostly just focuses on Simon.
Okay.
It's Simon and Fiona and Cake, but it's the Simon show.
Every time I step outside, I feel like I want to die. Because I saw the opening, it's like, fuck. That is hard.
I also just want to get to the episode where we meet an alternate Ice King that's voiced by Brian David Gilbert, because that just sounds funny.
Oh gosh, speaking of alternate versions of yourself, do you remember Lemon Grab finding himself and just poking each other? Lemon.
Oh, I find this acceptable.
The fucking screeching.
You made me! You're my glove! You made me!
Because he's just losing his shit.
I must use my sound sword! It's like, I liked the first Lemon Grab episode, but this one was like way funnier.
I was fucking dying watching this episode. Which, again, another episode, like, I know I've seen this episode before. This was so familiar. Fucking Lemon Grab.
Lemon Grab. Unacceptable.
He's such a piece of shit. Well, even that
like,
fucking scene with, like, the three kids, like, these are our demands. Number one, pardon all our crimes. Jake's like, this asshole threw a fucking basketball in my head. I don't want him to be pardoned. Let it go, Jake. What's your second thing? A big bag of money to give to our mothers, to give them the happiness and satisfaction in life that they can never have because they had us. And Jake just goes, oh. And it was like, that was really funny.
So
like, really sad at the same time. And you remember the fucking Princess Chocolate Chip Cookie episode? And Jake just wanted to be a mailman.
I just want to be a mailman. That one was pretty good. Oh God, what is it?
I still can't get over I flooped the pig.
You flooped the pig.
I want to say that next time I play a game of Magic against Chris, like, yeah, well, I flooped the pig. I don't care.
Okay, what we need to do, because I have a deck. I have that green deck that has, like,
all that,
wild
like,
boars. And I can
you can floop it.
I can floop the pigs. I haven't played Magic in a long time. We need to do that next time everyone's over. But yeah, I felt like the 2/3 of the season, phenomenal, probably the best so far. And then you have the first third, which was
hit or miss, because there were still some really good.
There were like a couple of good episodes, but then there was weird shit like the clowns. Like the
clown.
No,
that was the end of season 3.
The clown nurse.
That was the. It was like the either penultimate or antepenultimate episode of season 3. Because I remember that it was the end of season 3.
Okay.
But we watched the end of season 3 and the start of season 1, like, or season 4, almost back to back. So that's why it's putting together.
Okay. But yeah, no, there was like the Five Senses episode just wasn't funny. I just didn't find it that good. But yeah, season 4.
So do you want to talk about the season finale then, the Lich? Because you had a reaction to that last scene.
Yeah, I didn't realize what was going on. Okay, so number one, Billy being the Lich was like, they kind of foreshadowed it with that dream at the beginning, but I like how they misdirected it, and Finn's like, okay, it's a premonition that Billy's in trouble. And Billy's acting completely normal. Like, there is no indication that he's the Lich until, like, he gets his fucking face blown off, essentially. And I really like that, because a lot of shows will do the thing where it's like, okay, a main character, or not a main character in this case, but a character gets possessed by, like, the bad guy, but they're acting kind of obviously evil, and everyone's just like, huh, he's acting really weird today.
What I always think of in situations like that is the season 2 finale of Friendship is Magic, The Wedding, where, like, the audience has never met Cadence, so we don't know how out of character she is. But Twilight's like, okay, so, like, the person I know, and it's been years, but the person I know is nothing like this. Shining Armor is getting succubied. So you can make an argument that's like, okay, he literally is not able to fight against her. But you would think Celestia and Luna would look at this and go, she's acting really out of character. Like, maybe she's just stressed because of the wedding.
Yeah, I think that's how they explain it. It's like, no, she's just stressed out, man.
It's like, from the character we get to know later, like, that's so fucking obvious that you would think at least those two would have been. That's a little weird.
Then again, maybe, like, fake Cadence explicitly just kind of avoided those two, just because, like, I don't want to, like, give anything away.
But it's possible.
Then again, that's an awfully intelligent move for Chrysalis.
Show Chrysalis and comic Chrysalis have very different levels of intelligence. Because in the comic, I remember I was like, oh, she's really fucking smart and, like, really cunning. And then in the show, I'm like,
she's kind of an idiot.
That was kind of stupid. That was cool, but I don't think it was smart.
Okay, I think the problem with Chrysalis, and I know we're getting a little off track, the problem with Chrysalis is that before she's found out, like, she's winning. Like, she's winning in her debut episode until she goes, haha, now I'm actually evil and I'm all powerful and all that shit. And then she gets screwed over. Then, like, during the, it's the one with Starlight Glimmer.
Season 6.
It's like, no, she beat everybody. She just left those assholes, and she didn't expect them to win. And I was like, no, she won, basically. And then, like, the last season...
And then she's just going through a mental breakdown. Which understandable.
But back to Adventure Time. So, next is Season 5, which is, like, double the length of the other seasons. Which I'm not sure why. it's weird because this is the longest season by far. All the other seasons are either the typical 26 episodes
or a little bit shorter,
or a lot shorter. Because I think the last season's only like 13 episodes,
something like that. There might be a season that's only 10 episodes, but I might just be confusing that with Ruby.
But yeah, I expect we'll watch the next few episodes pretty soon because kind of left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so I do remember watching that live because I knew that there was like the season finale was airing. It's like, cool, I should get into Adventure Time. I keep hearing it's good, and watching that episode and going, what the fuck just happened? Like, I don't know enough about Adventure Time to know if that's a really cool twist, cliffhanger ending, or if I should just be confused. And now that I've seen
alternate Finn,
and now that I've seen all of Adventure Time up to this point, I'm confused. The problem is I've also seen those next 2 episodes, so I know what's going on. And when you know
they're like the most famous episodes, I think. Because like I kind of know their reputation because that's when the Lich has like his really epic speech.
Yeah, I know that's when the speech happens. It's Finn the dog, or not Finn the dog.
Jake the human.
It's Finn the human, Jake the dog, or maybe that's backwards. But I think it's Finn the human, Jake the dog. Because I know what's going on. I'm like, that's really, really interesting, and it makes a lot of sense.
I think this is also when we meet Prismo.
Yes, it is when we meet Prismo. Also a Munchkin card.
I know he's really important. But yeah.
Remembering fucking Magic Man episode.
So
I win again.
So it'll probably be a bit until our next episode, unless we want to like split it up and be like season 5 part 1, season 5 part 2, maybe. I don't know.
I just remember the weird fucking Mega Frog.
Voiced by Brian Murray.
Oh no, we didn't talk about the farm! And the train, and Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick.
Being the car salesman saying if you want to beat the farm, you have to fucking cheat. And there's this dude who's named the train, and he gets his ass kicked so hard, his legs are facing backwards. He's like, it's okay. I have bionic legs. I'm gonna go back to my guy to get implants and I'll upgrades and shit. Don't follow me. It's just crawling away. I laughed real fucking hard at the train.
And then, like, Finn and Jake just beating the shit out of each other. Like, that scene on the lawn where Jake's,
awesome.
like, kicking him over and over again.
Oh, I laughed so fucking hard at that, dude. I was like, that's so fucking funny.
But, yeah. It was good shit in this episode.
It was really good.
Good shit in the season.
All right, anything else, or are we Gucci?
I think we're good.
Okay, was it better than Wish?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.